Hello friends, it's me, and today, Chef Gordon Ramsay. Let's check out food theory. Gordon Ramsay is not a Masterchef. Kitchen nightmares from the food theorists. Together, let's go.
Today we're dousing the flames of the world's most fiery celebrity chef, Gordon Ramsay. This week marks the return of his hit series, Kitchen Nightmares, where Chef Ramsay does his best to train, inspire, and rehabilitate failing restaurants.
This video came out last year, so it's not a week. I'm sorry.
Except, there's one problem with the formula: Chef Ramsay himself. You see, when you crunch the numbers, Ramsay's track record is not that great. And I'm not talking about the restaurants on his show, I'm talking about the ones that he opens that bear his name in real life. Gordon Ramsay, more like Gordon Shamsay, nailed it. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the
Hello Internet, welcome to Food Theory.
channel that knows how to properly cook a scallop. If the intro didn't make it clear enough to you, today we're talking about the king of the censor, the sultan of the swear, the Michelin star maestro himself, Chef Gordon Ramsay. You know, the guy that just goes around calling everyone an idiot sandwich.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Fun fact, by the way, that iconic idiot sandwich clip isn't actually from one of his shows. It was from a late night skit that was parodying his shows, so reality ain't that far off.
Is there anything?
But having said that, bro, I know you're worth multi-millions, but bro, seek a therapist. Stop with all those curse words. It's bad for the kids. You're being a bad role model for the children. You're saying all these vulgarities, all those bad words, all those curse words. And you are supposed to be a role model for all.
Think today that I ate that wasn't microwaved. You f***ing donut.
Look at this. I swear to God, it's the kind of you'd expect Tiger Woods to tee off with. Look at it. Rubber, rubber, rubber!
If you saute scallops in a non-stick pan, they won't stick. That's why it's called non-stick.
Suffice it
Seek a therapist. Seek a therapist, please. Stop with all the curse words. You are a role model. Please.
say, if someone set up a swear jar at the Ramsay household, they'd be making millions. Anyway, when it comes to celebrity chefs, there aren't many people bigger than the good old Gordo. He's earned himself an astounding 17 Michelin stars over the course of his career, and his colorful language has spawned a TV empire that's brought us hits like Hell's Kitchen, Masterchef, and The F Word. And I'm not censoring that is just the name of the show. And most of these are still going strong.
The F word is very misleading, sir. It's very misleading. Could be fun, could be family, could be food, could be fantastic. But case in point is very associated to that word.
Chef is on its 13th season, Hell's Kitchen is gearing up for number 22, and his newest one, Next Level Chef, just got renewed for 2 more seasons. And the entire concept of that is chefs in elevators. Really? Traditional TV, this is what you're okaying at this point? All I want is a game show, man. But of all the shows, the one that's always been nearest and dearest to my heart is Kitchen Nightmares. See, instead of screaming and yelling at semi-professional chefs for the lamb sauce,
Where's the lamb sauce?
Kitchen Nightmares has Ramsay visiting struggling restaurants in the hopes that he can turn them around, all while screaming and yelling.
You stuck up precious little.
Like a lot of great shows, it originally started off as a British series, quickly became a hit, and then it got its own American spin-off with just a few simple changes. See if you can.
Case in point, he's a rude, impolite, no manners, lack of manners individual. Because, case in point, you are supposed to be a good role model, a leader for all. Stop with all those curse words. I know you are skilled. I know you are professional in this. But if you keep on using swear words, it just shows that you aren't mature enough. You aren't a grown up, you know. It's not an appropriate time to use those bad words. Maybe behind the scenes, maybe within the confines of your space, but not in front of your customers, not in front of your fellow co-workers, not in front of the kitchen, you know. Don't do that. It's very demoralizing. Sir, please don't.
Spot the difference.
Richie's got a lot on his plate, so I'm staying in the kitchen to help him.
You run a of the kitchen yourself.
No,
Okay?
no.
I know. The cultural difference is incredibly subtle. But now, after nearly
Yeah, I can sense the impoliteness of it. Very disrespectful, sir.
A decade of being off the air, Kitchen Nightmares is finally coming back tomorrow for its long-awaited 8th US season. But one question still hovers over the shadow of the show. Where are the restaurants now? Does Gordon actually succeed in helping these guys in the long term? Sure, the episodes are a fun watch, but is he actually serving up any useful information for the owners and workers whose livelihoods are literally on the line? And how does Gordon's hit rate compare to the restaurant business writ large? Is he better than just random chance? So season your skillets, grab your aprons, and get the YouTube censors ready, loyal theorists, as we go mano-a-mano with one of the biggest names in food. Oh, he's gonna roast me on TikTok after this one, isn't he?
Hold on a minute. What's that stupid decoration on there? Looks like a skid mark from a granddad's underpants.
Over the course of the entire Kitchen Nightmare series, Gordon attempts to save over 100 restaurants, and they all tend to follow a very similar formula. Delusional owners, disgusting kitchens, and terrible food.
That's the sushi pizza.
It's rice, salmon, crab, and mayonnaise, some cheese.
Wow. That is rancid.
But despite the challenges, Chef Ramsay would come in, help retrain the staff, update the menu, and sometimes just straight up change the entire branding. So, did those remedies work? Let's start by looking at the original British run of the show. Running for 5 seasons, or series as the Brits call them, along with a couple of special episodes, Gordon Ramsay visited a total of 28 restaurants. So now, nearly 2 decades after the British show ended, let's play a little guessing game. How many of those 28 do you think should still be open for you to consider it a success for Gordon? Half?
Okay, so I'm going to say that the number is very skewed because there's a global pandemic, COVID-19. Sorry.
A quarter? Well, whatever you guessed, you're probably wrong. Only 5 of the 28 restaurants that Gordon visited in the original British version of the show are still open today. In fact, a whopping 59% of, quote, saved locations closed within a year of their episode airing. Chef Ramsay did such a bad job that some permanently closed before the episode could even air. All in all, over 2/3 of the British restaurants featured on the show closed within 3 years. Of course, that's not exactly the biggest sample size. For that, we gotta go to the place where everything is bigger, the good old US of A. Inevitably, at some point in each episode, Ramsay would get into a shouting match with either the owner or the chef.
Look at the mess of this place. It's ridiculous. Someone man up.
But did any of that tough love equate to better outcomes for our American entrepreneurs? Short answer, no. Long answer, no. As it turns out,
I just like it at MadFat. It's like, I was going to say something, it's like, sir, please stop with all those vulgarity words, all those bad words, all those curse words. You are demoralizing others. You are supposed to be a leader. You are supposed to be motivating, not demoralizing them. You are supposed to be motivating them, not demotivating. Is it demotivating? Either ways, your very actions is putting them on the edge. It's like, I don't think I want to continue working here with Gordon Ramsay, you in charge. That's how bad it is.
Gordon's explosive temper might have been better for ratings, but worse for business. Of the
Explosive temper it is.
77 restaurants that were featured on the American Kitchen Nightmares, just 13 are open today. 13! That is a shade under a 17% success rate. So combining both versions of the show, just 18 of the 105 establishments that Gordon Ramsay tried to help are still around today. Honestly, that seems like a pretty terrible record, especially talking about a guy who's made over $500 million by opening his own restaurants. But
Ta-da! Hundreds of millions of dollars. That guy is rich. You can say that. That guy is rich, very rich.
I also get it. These are literally the worst of the worst restaurants out there. They were already on their last leg long before Chef Ramsay ever decided to step in, hence the whole nightmare part of the title. I mean, it wasn't called Gordon Ramsay's Kitchens, who are just a few tweaks away from success. Then again, as it turns out, Gordon might not be the right guy for the job, because his numbers, yeah, they're not that great either. As of the recording of this episode, a whopping 4 of Chef Ramsay's restaurants have Michelin stars. His flagship restaurant, Restaurant Gordon Ramsay, is one of only 8 3 Michelin star restaurants in all of the UK and Ireland. There are only 2 chefs in history that have earned more Michelin stars in their career than Ramsay. However, these top-tier restaurants are only a small part of the Gordon Ramsay empire. For every
And also, Michelin stars is very deceptive. It's very misleading. Matt made an episode about it in which Michelin stars, how to say, the food that I find delicious, the food that I find tasty, the food that my people find good might not, be judged properly by the people in charge,
Restaurant Gordon Ramsay, there's about 10 Gordon Ramsay street burgers opening in a 5-yard span. So knowing all of that, I wanted to really dig down and find out if Chef Ramsay was truly more successful at keeping restaurants open than your typical small restaurateur that he berates as a part of his show. And boy, let me tell ya, it was actually a fairly easy calculation. You see, Gordon Ramsay has been busy over the past couple years. His roster of restaurants is enormous. According to Wikipedia, Gordon Ramsay has owned or operated 132 different restaurants in the course of his career. In the last 5 years alone, he's opened 67. There's even 8 more that are set to open before the year's end. Now, I did my best to try and get the most accurate data.
Remember, this video came out last year, 2023. Right now, it's in the year 2024. I'm sorry.
Possible. Also, to give the most fair assessment, I removed every restaurant from our list that opened in the last 2 years, since the jury's still out on whether they're going to be able to make it or not. There's also the big viral-shaped elephant in the room, the pandemic. During COVID, anywhere between 70 and 90,000 restaurants shut their doors. As a result, I think it's unfair to judge Chef Ramsay on how his business is held up against a once-in-a-lifetime global health crisis, so I cut those out of the list as well. All in all, that left me with 83 Ramsay restaurants in contention ready to review, and what I found out about his track record ended up being super interesting. First, I learned that there actually isn't a lot of consensus among researchers about how often restaurants fail. The range of results that I found were insane. On the low end, some research says that around 17% of restaurants close within their first year of operation. On the other end of the spectrum, one American Express commercial cited that number as closer to 90%. Yeah, really couldn't be further apart. However, the NRA, absolutely not the one that you're probably thinking of, the National Restaurant Association, recognizes a failure rate of about 30% to be the norm in the restaurant industry. Since they're industry standard and it was kind of in the middle, I decided to go with that one. And you know what? Compared to that number, Gordon comes out looking great. Just 9% of Gordon's real-world establishments close within their first year. In fact, a full third of Gordon's restaurants that opened prior to 2013 are still kicking after a decade. In the end, 44% of the restaurants we looked into are still pumping out dishes as we speak. So yeah, while not every one of his locations are winners, especially the chains that he's opened more recently, Chef Ramsay far exceeds your average restaurateur. I mean, shouldn't be all that surprising. He has an entire marketing team behind him and decades of experience, but hey, now at least we have the numbers to prove it. So he's better than your local mom and pop. But now let's have...
No, he's not better than local mom and pop because he set a bad example. Look, if you want to say that he's the best, then people look up to him. If people look up to him, people want to become the next Gordon Ramsay. People want to become like, he's my role model. And do you know who do that? Kids, teenagers, children, the younger generations. But they are seeing both his good and his bad. He's good at cooking, yeah, sure. But his mannerism is bad, disrespectful, impolite, rude, all those vulgarities. Do you really think that children who grew up in a respectful family that don't say any curse words in their entire lifetime, if they watch Gordon Ramsay, do you think Gordon Ramsay will become a good role model for the kids? Just a very general question. If you grew up in a family that prioritize harmony, peace, politeness, and you see Gordon Ramsay, okay, so your first impression is, okay, Gordon Ramsay is a popular chef, is a top chef, he represents chefs. To kids, they don't know anything. You are introducing the concept of chef as being someone that always shouts bad words. Sir, please see the therapist.
Gordon pick on someone his own size. Let's measure the likes of Gordon Ramsay against other celebrity chefs to see if Gordon can stand the heat in his own kitchen, starting with his old rival, a culinary clash between Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay. Since we've already pitted them against each other in a previous episode, it's only right that we start this one with a rematch. Today, Flay may not be as much of a mainstay as Chef Ramsay, but there was a point in time when Bobby was the king of the celebrity chef world. So, how good is Bobby Flay at keeping the doors to his restaurants open? Well, he's actually better than Gordon. Much better. In fact, of Bobby Flay's 13 restaurants that opened pre-2022 and didn't close because of COVID, how many of them are still open? A respectable 53%. That said, we're obviously working at different scales here. 13 versus Ramsay's 80. So, is there anyone else who's closer? How about someone a bit more homey, a bit more accessible to us everymen? Fire up your grills because the mayor of Flavortown has just arrived. Guy Fieri has entered Hell's Kitchen. If you're looking for a chef who holds up to the scale and personality of Gordon Ramsay, Guy is your guy. today. According to my list, Guy Fieri has had about 46 restaurants tied to his name over his 2-decade-long career. How many are still cooking up flavors today? A jaw-dropping, frost your tips 78%. Fieri is not just beating the likes of Flay and Ramsay, he is lapping them. Pretty darn impressive for a guy who just rolls around in his bowling shirt. But does a plate of trash can nachos really compete with what you get at a Ramsay restaurant, like this lobster ravioli? I mean, look at these dishes. One is elegant, balanced, artistic in its presentation, and the other looks exactly like what you'd expect from a guy in his mid-50s with frosted tips and a goatee.
So case in point, it's different target audience. One is more relatable, Guy Fieri, and one is more atas. One is more luxurious, like Gordon Ramsay. For me, I'm just the run-of-the-mill guy. I'm part of the rest of the 90%. I'm not part of the top 10%. I'm not part of the top 1%. I'm part of the rest of the 99%. I'm just another average Singaporean. I'm humdrum Singaporeans, and I'll relate to, the lot of food guy, the Guy Fieri guy.
Flay and Fieri, they have themselves a collective 1 Michelin star, and Flay ended up losing that star after having it for only a year. I mean, that's not...
And case in point, let me remind you, Michelin stars doesn't necessarily mean the food is the best. Because, well, it's MadPat makes a theory about it. It's a bit biased towards towards a particular culture over others.
To say that Michelin stars are the be-all end-all. We've talked about that before on this channel. But when it comes to what the greatest food critics in the world are looking for, Ramsay knows how to deliver that better than anyone else. So, if we're truly looking to make the most accurate comparison possible, there is one chef who can look Ramsay in the eye and spit on his Michelin stars. The only man alive today who's earned more Michelin stars in his career than Gordon. Allow me to introduce you to the French culinary genius Alain Ducasse. Boasting an incredible 21 Michelin stars, 4 more than Gordon, and the only person in the ballpark in terms of number of restaurants under his domain, if anyone would be the ultimate final boss for this culinary clash, it's Ducasse. So, the big question, how's his success rate? Well, after looking through every Ducasse delicatessen that's ever existed, the percentage of his restaurants still open for business today is 59%. Way more than Gordon's measly 44. And according to the Michelin Guide, even better in terms of quality. So there you have it, folks. Gordon Ramsay, all brand, no bite. When you stack him up against other celebrity chefs, Gordon is good, but not great. Is how I'd end this episode if I was being disingenuous. Opening up over 100 restaurants, being able to keep nearly 50% of those open for an extended period of time, and then
especially during this COVID period, you got to hand it to him, bro. Gordon Ramsay is skilled at being a chef, is skilled at being a celebrity, is skilled at being a content creator, is skilled at people-to-people connections. So he has a lot of friends. Sadly, because of his mannerism, he also has a lot of enemies. Psychotherapist, bro. Therapy.
Maintaining a high level of quality across all of them, that is a nearly impossible feat. What Gordon Ramsay has been able to do and build is just incredible. And while he's garnered this reputation as a short-tempered, arrogant, stuck-up blowhard, the Ramsay...
Whoa, bro, MadPat! Accurate, but bro, MadPat! Wow!
that you see on TV.
Okay, so I'm gonna...
to do and build is just incredible. And while he's garnered this reputation as a short-tempered...
MadPat said, okay. Gordon Ramsay is short-tempered.
arrogant, stuck-up...
Gordon Ramsay is short-tempered, arrogant, stuck-up.
blowhard. The Ramsay
Whoa.
that you see on TV is just a character. If you've spoken with people who've actually worked closely with him, or you just watched some of his more recent, less fiery programming, you see he's just a guy who loves cooking and is passionate about sharing that with others.
It's easy to cook on TV. There's talented producers, there's editors, and there's all sorts of things that make you look good. You know, before any TV came anywhere near my career, I'd mastered my craft.
Gordon Ramsay didn't get to where he was just by screaming in front of a camera. He got there through practice and experience.
It's as if all he knows is fine dining and breathing.
Even though there might be a couple out there who are better in the numbers, nothing can truly take away his pure mastery of the craft. If only he could figure out how to make a proper grilled cheese sandwich.
Aramana with pepperberry and Asiago. And the secret behind this grilled cheese is a little bit of kimchi.
Yeah, I think I'll be sticking to my Kraft cheese squares and store brand white bread. Who's the idiot sandwich now? They're
Oh, you, Gordon Ramsay, Chef Gordon Ramsay, you F up, you mess up when even Mad Ted is dissing you.
Porto. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit.
I didn't expect the ending of this video to be Mad Ted throwing out all this showing out all these shots at Chef Gordon Ramsay. I didn't expect that, you know. I thought Mad Ted was gonna be like neutral. It's like, oh, truth, facts. Okay, let's see the meme at the back. I want to see the meme at the back.
No, but hey, that's just a.
This crab is so undercooked. It just told me its name is Sebastian. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you.